let's go over the parts that I'm going to use for making the tier tray. First of all, I bought some of the round 25mm balls from Amazon, so if you want to make the beads to go with a tier tray, you can do that. I'm using these signs from the Dollar Tree as well. You can see they have their little flowers in them. I just removed those with the scraper that you can get at the Dollar Tree as well. You have your choice on the letters. Now, for the Scrabble pieces, I used two different types. One is from the Scrabble letters that you can get at Walmart, and the second set is from the Dollar Tree, the 3-in-1 game, and I just cut the pieces down to size. Then I used 2 rolling pins because I actually have 2 tier trays, so I'm making doing that. And then the tumbling tower blocks. I have 2 in the cut file. I actually have 2 eggs and peep. And so if you're going to do 2 Scrabble trays, you need a total of 8 tumbling tower blocks to do that. And then once you have all that, then you're going to want to paint up your pieces. Now for the rolling pins, I painted the ends white. I painted the tiles white. And then just to cover up some of the stuff on the signs, I also covered them white as well. I also used, to make the books, I used wooden blocks, but you can also use, if you can find them, the crates from the Dollar Tree also. So you can use those as well. And then if you are doing the beads, and I can do another tutorial on it later, I just kind of showed you what I did, is I actually just took a Ziploc bag and put some paint in there. Some people say it add a little water. I think they got too watery when I did that, and it took a little longer to do them, so I just did straight up paint and put them in the bag, rolled them around in there to get the paint on there, and then just put them on parchment paper to dry. Then I actually ended up doing it twice. Make sure you zip your Ziploc bag up between coats so that it doesn't dry out on you, and so you can add just a little bit more paint to do the second coat. And so you can see here I'm just painting the second sign, and I'm actually just using a darker, I believe it's Lagoon from Waverly on this one. Again, I'm just using the paints that I have. I didn't go out and buy anything different and things like that, so I'm just using what I have. And again, you can see where I just put some paint in the Ziploc bag and mixed it up for the balls. So just continue to paint everything that you need painted and go from there. One of the things I decided on the signage when I was doing them is that I actually ended up going with cardstock in the center to make life a little easier. You can see here I'm just again painting, adding, this time I'm doing like my purple and things like that. The 2 purples I had, I thought the one was too light, the one was too dark, so I just took the 2 purples together, mixed them, and came up with the colors that I wanted. The other thing is that I noticed as I was painting my tumble tower boxes that I should have glued them together and then painted them, because I didn't want my paint to show, or my glue to show, so I'll end up gluing those together beforehand as well. And then I'm just painting on the crate the different, the book colors, so I'm doing that as well. Now, one of the things with the purple, because I did mix it, I'm trying to make sure that I get everything the first, or with 2 coats right away, so that it doesn't dry up on me. And then I just added a little bit of the paint into my Ziploc bag to mix up if you're going to do beads and things like that. So you can do that. So you can see here where I'm gluing the tumbling tower together to make those Scrabble trays. Because again, they should be glued together before you do your painting, so it covers up those as much as you can on those. The other thing is on the pink, I realized as I grabbed it, it's glitter pink paint, and it doesn't cover as well, so I ended up having to put white down to help cover that up. So you'll notice that there's actually white on the box, and I actually put white between the seams of the book too to help cover up, or to help give that extra look on those. But that's one of the things with the pink glitter paint. I did have some other pink, but the glitter looks good because, you know, who doesn't like a little glitter here and there? And then I'm just doing the lime green on the other book and the other Scrabble box as well. So once everything's painted up, we can continue on and get our vinyl cut out. let's have a fun little surprise in here. As I was working on things, I kind of had a night, I was at the Dollar Tree, found a little project, and thought, let's add this into the tier tray. So here is a fun little add-on that I'm doing in here. And I took the little bunny rabbits from the Dollar Tree, Mod Podge, and some glitter. And we are making Peeps, you guys. And so basically you just put your Mod Podge on, and you cover everything up, and then you're going to go ahead and glitter everything. Now there's a little exit in here, and as I'm glittering, all of a sudden my shaker top falls off. Oh, hey, crafting happens. So you can see it created a little bit of a mess and things like that. And yeah, glitter ended up over the house a little bit. So you know, either you live with glitter or you burn your house down and move. But I wanted to share. I left the blooper in because it was kind of funny, and if you would have heard me laughing hysterically when I did it, it was kind of one of those moments. So I just went ahead and thought we should add Peeps into our tier tray, so you'll see those in here. I did get a little smarter on the other ones where I opened up the pour spout a little more on it to help out, but yeah, I just took the little bunnies and I glittered them. The package comes with a blue, a purple, a pink, and a white, and I didn't want a white Peep, I wanted a yellow Peep, so I grabbed the yellow paint and I painted the Peep, and we'll come back and glitter him in just a second. Now let's glitter our yellow Peep, and again, like I said, I painted them. I took the white one and just painted yellow, and then then put the yellow glitter on them. And you guys, they are so cute. I mean, the video and the pictures don't do them justice there, but they look like real little Peeps. So it was just a fun little add-on for the tier tray, and I think once I put it together, the tier tray together, it's gonna be super cute. I did hold on to the Peep by the ear as I was glittering it, so after the first coat's dry, I'll come back and I'll add the second coat and do finish up the ear and everything. Okay, so now we're gonna cut our vinyl, and there's a little bit more vinyl to cut with this one just because there's eggs and carrots and things like that. And what I did on here is I actually went through and put 7 different colors on my mat and organized it. Now I have the Silica Cameo. I did not do the pick and scan. You do not need, if you want to do this, I don't use a phone and put my vinyl on and things like that. I just line things up. So I go into my cutting software, align things, do things I want to do, and make sure, and then put the vinyl on my mat where I want it. And so I just go ahead and cut everything out. Now again, remember, before you pull it out of the cutting machine, test your cut to make sure that everything tests out properly. And then, because if you need to resend it again, you can actually resend it through without a problem. So we're just going to finish cutting these up, and we'll go through and cut the other colors as well. Now that we have all the vinyl cut, now I'm just going to go through and cut the cardstock. The cardstock was actually used for the base of the 2 signs and then for the bunny banner. So there's just the 3 colors, the teal, the pink, and the white on those. So we're just going to go through, cut that up, and get everything ready to go so that we can actually start weeding our vinyl, and then we're going to assemble the project, and away we go, and we can actually finish up our tier trays. Okay, so now we're going to go through and we're going to weed out our vinyl. One of the things that was kind of a gotcha for me on this one is that I grabbed too sticky of transfer tape, and so it was a little bit harder to weed out some of the things because I did that. And then I accidentally, you can see here, I had a little problems where my letters stuck and I had to recut those. One thing I will tell you right now, on the one that has Alexa, can you find all the eggs? The outline around the letters, if you are a newbie, is a little bit difficult, and so I ended up doing a reverse weed, and it was kind of a pain in the butt. I'll be right honest with you. So if you are a newbie and you just want to weld together the bottom so that you can just layer it on top, feel free to do that. It'll look just as nice. It's a smaller sign. They're 4 1/4 or 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, so people are not going to see the white around the letters. So just kind of a heads up. I ended up reverse weeding. It took a little longer to weed. If you are fairly new to the whole weeding, Cricut, layering, things like that, then do not be afraid to just weld and do that. And the same thing with the pumpkin patch. I have a double line around the 25-cent marker, and if you do not want to do that, again, I had a reverse weed to get that line out. Again, it looks just fine if you don't take that line out, but I wanted to give you that heads up that could be a little troublesome and a problem spot for some, especially if you're fairly new to it. So if you want to try it, go right ahead and try it. But if you just like it the way it is without doing it and just want to layer the two colors on top of each other, that is perfectly fine as well. So don't feel that you have to do it that way, because that's what I did. Remember, there's no, everybody crafts differently, so do it the way you want, and that this project actually has different levels and you can do different things with it and stuff like that. Okay? Okay, so here's a gotcha, and I left it in here because I want to talk about it. The transfer tape I grabbed was way too sticky, and so it started pulling away from my cardstock, and it got to the point where I literally had to flip it over and use the other side, and it was kind of a good thing I had to cut and I could salvage things out to put it together. Now, one of the things I did afterwards is that I pushed against my clothing and pulled it to get some of that stickiness out. If you're running into issues with that, the other thing you can do too is you can actually just take white vinyl and put it on the white vinyl. Or if you're really good about the painting, you can try and do all the painting and get inside that sign, so you can do it that way. So again, you could use cardstock, you could use white vinyl to apply it to, or paint the inside or the outside of a sign and just apply it directly to there. And then you're just going to go through and you're going to apply your vinyl onto your books, your sign. You're going to assemble your bunny together, things like that. And again, like I said, I did 2 different sets of books so you could actually see the different set. One was with a with a tray, or the crate that I got from the Dollar Tree, and the other set was the books. And we're just going to keep applying it. I'm putting the vinyl on the rolling pin, the little the Scrabble tiles. Now, because I'm using the 2 different sizes, I accidentally flip-flopped the 2 around. So if you're doing the pieces from the Dollar Tree, they work just fine. If you're using the pieces from the Walmart, you're going to want to shrink them up just a hair. So keep that in mind when putting that together. Next up, we're going to assemble the bunny banner. So you're just going to go through, and I used tape, and I just attached like the offsets together. So the front of the pink the word bunny to the teal bunny, and then the white bunny heads to the teal back, and then I used foam tape to pop them up off the banner sign. Okay, so I did that. Then when I went through, one thing that I used, and you'll note it might be hard to see in here, is I used a piece of wire, fold it in half, thin floral wire, and I used it as my threader so that I could thread through that banner really, really fast. Then I just took and tied some jute onto the side, and now we're just going to add some ribbon onto our books and decorate those up. When decorating the books, I used some ribbon, jute. I actually found some colored jute as well from the Dollar Tree. Grabbed that, added them on along with a couple of styrofoam eggs that I found there as well, and added those to the top for a little extra decoration. And so I just tied them up and away we go. Okay, so let's finish our peeps up. Now, after I glittered them, one of the things is that I did spray seal them so that the glitter doesn't shift. But even though I sprayed sealed them and I sealed them a couple of times, it still did not, this glitter still wanted to come off on the transfer tape. So, just so you don't waste transfer tape in doing this, I basically just peeled them off and stuck the eyes and nose on individually to make it a little easier. So give that a try. And then here are all the pieces for our tiered tray. Aren't they adorable, you guys? They're so much fun to make. So enjoy and have fun with this project.